here, maybe.
I've just been because I need to stop doing this. But I'm just always going like, I want to hang out with friends so bad. So immediately as I get off of work, I go on my computer. I'm like, I'm waiting to hang out with friends now. And then it's like me going like, we didn't agree with the time tomorrow. Stop.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're correct. I will eat now. And then doing that, and then suffering and being like, your body has decided this is sleep hours now. It's like, no.
You need to do work and things. Yeah.
But I played more of game that's not allowed on Twitch.
Yeah.
And I am now sitting in the middle of a kind of boss battle or sub-boss battle or anything like that. It's more of just like a little thing of like a little area zone where I have to fight all these enemies all at once immediately because there is no way back up. So I have to go through this area so I can go back around. I'm just like, this is okay.
It's okay.
Anyway, welcome stream. As you can see, we are playing more Mutters.
Well, hang on, I'm not doing my intro yet. I literally wait 5 minutes for people to come to the stream before I do intros.
Yeah.
We've only done this how many times?
Twice.
No. We've done it probably dozens of times at this point.
Twice.
If we've done it twice, I think you're a different person, so... you... Or... anyway.
As we know, my body sheds so fast and changes.
I don't think it does. That would make you an insect or a reptile.
I shed violently.
So you're a reptile?
No.
Well, then what are you?
Okay.
Little guys don't shed.
You'd be surprised.
Little guys who are reptiles shed.
I'm not a reptile though.
Then why are you shedding?
Because that's just how my body works. It just decides to shed violently very fast.
I don't think that's normal. For humans or cats.
You can ask Mooney. This is perfectly normal behavior.
Mooney's gonna say no, because Mooney's always contrarian to you. In what universe do you think Mooney's gonna agree with you on anything? If the moment Mooney knows it's your opinion, Mooney's gonna disagree with it.
When you're listening to this in the future, past, present, know that I'm correct as usual.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
This is true.
Mm-hmm. It's certainly true for your world.
It's true for all worlds.
I don't think it is. I'm just gonna be honest.
It is. Just be honest.
I don't. I think we've established I don't trust you on most things that you say.
I am super trustworthy all the time. I know a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all in my head. All the information.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway. Hello, stream. And more likely, viewers of the VOD in the future. We're playing more Murders on the Yangtze River. Last time we went through a court trial, and now we're off and we're trying to get more evidence to try to disprove that Chen definitely didn't murder the man that they are saying that was murdered. So, you know, we're very close to the end of the game, most likely. We're getting very close, so we're just trying to see how fast we can get to the end. We're having a great time. Hopefully, everyone comes and enjoys the stream and enjoys the party.
Yeah. This has been a real fun time. They're playing.
And my friend quietly existing. Chinma's here, having a great time.
Yeah. I'm here. And I'm awake. It's second Thursday.
Yep. Good old second
Trying to
Thursday.
get in now. Because on the first Thursday we stream Homestick, and on second Thursday. What? You're saying that all the fingerprints in the magazine belong to Stone Wu?
Damn, we're right into it. I forgot where we paused.
Yeah. This is me. Okay. I have compared them repeatedly, and they are indeed his fingerprints. This gun belongs to the victim. It's not surprising his fingerprints are on the magazine, is it? It does make sense, but I thought we'd be able to find the murderer.
Don't be discouraged, Afu. Our investigation has made significant progress. The magazine can hold a total of 8 bullets. Currently 7 are left. Each bullet has Stone Wu's figure.
For the moment, the evidence we have collected is roughly just these. In addition to that, Koshin and I have made some other preparations.
What do you mean the evidence you've collected is roughly just that? You found an entire basement. A basement with an illegal drug smuggling going on and chemical experiments.
But that's not, like, relevant enough, because we don't have anything that can pin that to anyone but Stone Wu.
In a game like this, it will most certainly be important information.
Yeah. I just wanted to take another look at the magazine, because it looked like there was something underneath the bullet, but I wasn't able to tell.
It was probably the bottom of it moved up because it was missing a bullet. If I understand how magazines work. I mean, I can look at it.
That makes sense. I just am also the thing of, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
We sit here. Shrugs. Anyway, now it's time for the second trial.
Already? Jesus. The Mixed Court of Shanghai International setup. Man, this game really just didn't know how to improve upon Ace Attorney's pacing.
You're like, okay.
They don't spend like 30 minutes just monologuing about the stuff they found. They're like, all right, next, you came here for the court case. We're doing the court cases.
It's court cases now. Citizen Shen Shunbing is suspected of shooting and killing Chinese citizen Stone Wu. The second trial will now begin. This case is handled by Shanghai Governor Guan Yung. Judge Guan, please proceed.
Court is now in session. Oh, there's such government corruption happening right now.
Judge Guan, the prosecutor should proceed with the opening statement.
I remember this procedure, but I just have this feeling that someone should shout solemn silence to truly start.
Solemn silence? Defense counsel, please refrain from speaking without permission. I'm sorry, I thought Judge Guan wanted me to shout.
Afu, are you getting nervous again?
Yes, clearly.
Can you not see me sweating bullets?
I didn't mean to. My guy should not be allowed.
Again, this poor guy just has a question that'll never get answered. You're even stuttering a bit. You say you didn't mean to.
It's like my brain suddenly hit the brakes, stalled.
Take a deep breath. You'll get used to the atmosphere soon. Please proceed with the statement, prosecutor. Stupid little double ponytail wig.
Your Honor, in the previous round of the trial, we've seen a chain of evidence, fingerprints, firearms, bullets, the body, and the scene. We have reconstructed the defense's crime process and revealed his method of hiding gunshots. Based on these factors, we can now confirm the defendant is the murderer. However, the defense counsel has questioned the process of the defense arrest. For fairness and justice, the prosecutor acknowledges the defense counsel's questioning. But, in reality, there is no flaw in the process of the defendant's arrest by the police. Next, I will call Sergeant Singh and Officer Wu from the police to testify in court.
Sergeant.
Uh,
Let's have Sergeant Singh and Officer Wu enter the court.
I'm being bullied.
You are. I solemnly, sincerely, and truthfully swear and promise. The testimony I give is true, complete, and without any falsehood. Officer Wu, don't you have anything to say?
Same as Sergeant Singh.
Oh, you're hiding something, baby. Afu, it seems like someone else is just as nervous when standing in the court as you are.
Well, I'm fine now. They're not.
Sergeant Singh, you were in charge of this arrest operation, correct?
Yes.
Officer Wu, you were involved in this arrest operation, right?
Yes.
Both of you were present throughout the arrest operation, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
When Chen was arrested, the police clearly didn't know about the murder case. Why was there arrest operation?
Raise a question. Wait a minute.
Hey, you. Why are you shouting so loudly? Defense counsel, you seem so confident. You must have a solid plan, right?
No. Well. Oh no, I was too busy shouting, I forgot what I wanted to say.
Chinnamakor. Afu,
Yeah.
are you trying to ask? The body was clearly discovered the next day, so why was there an arrest operation that night? Once again, a poor woman having to do everything.
Yes!
God.
Yeah.
I know what they're gonna do later is gonna be like, it's either gonna be you guys did it, or it's just gonna be like, you did it, Afu, you did it, and it's gonna be just like, yeah, he did maybe 10% of it. Like,
Yeah.
so much of it is just fucking this poor girl just being like, hey, Afu, didn't you mean to say this?
Hey, Afu, this is what's going right now. Right now. I need you to say this out loud, okay?
Mhm.
I need you to physically agree with me because I cannot take my word. Please, Afu, just do it.
We were just about to explain. Why are you in such a rush? Then please begin your testimonies.
The night of the crime, we organized a secret operation at the Lyceum Theater. Initially, the target of the arrest was not Mr. Shen, but the infamous thief, Shanghai Phantom.
Infamous.
Ow.
The Shanghai Phantom. The infamous Shanghai Phantom. That infamous thief? Oh, I didn't know you were going to do the joke for me, but thanks. Yes, that cunning villain. In 1 month, the vaults of the 4 major families were robbed by Shanghai Phantom. Dent Group and Sassoon Group lost gold, and the Jardine family lost a bunch of weapons. Among them, the Watson family suffered the greatest loss. Inside the stolen safe was a formula for the best-selling worldwide beverage, Watson Cola Water.
Investigation shows Shanghai Phantom had close ties with Stone Wu. On the night of the case, we received orders to gather at Lyceum Theater at 7:15 p.m. Only when we arrived at the scene did we find out Sergeant Singh had received a tip-off. Shanghai Phantom will sell the stolen goods at 8:30 p.m. using the lockers at Lyceum Theater. By then, Sergeant Singh had already investigated the theater and formulated a detailed arrest plan.
To be precise, the arrest operation began at 7:29, and I took it down clearly in my notes. At 8:26, the defendant entered the theater lobby. At 8:28, he opened the number 200 and he opened the number 212 locker and placed a gun inside. Officer Wu, is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Shin's action mistakenly led to his arrest as Shanghai Phantom. As a result, the secret arrest operation failed.
Hey you, there's nothing to regret. With the blessings of the gods, although we didn't catch the thief, we caught a murderer.
Or did you? Dun dun dun. Your Honors, this is the course of the arrest process. As Sergeant Singh mentioned, the defendant was arrested at the theater, though coincidental. There is no evidence of the defense's claim of framing. The police noticed the defendant hiding the gun because they'd been monitoring the lockers.
That sounds reasonable. Defense counsel, do you have any further questions?
Yes.
You mentioned that Mr. Shen was hiding the gun. Do you have any evidence to support this?
Someone provided us with a photograph. This photograph captured the moment when Mr. Shen was concealing the weapon.
How do you know that's not him taking it out of the locker?
Yeah. The person in the photograph. Who is that? Oh, it is indeed Shen.
I swear to God. See, only the murderer would hide a weapon. That's not necessarily true. Maybe the gun was already in the locker, and Mr. Shen simply unintentionally took it out.
Actually, before the operation, Sergeant Singh had already checked those lockers. They were all empty.
Lies. Police corruption.
We know that's a lie because there was something else in there. So
Yeah.
you're saying was he also holding this weird hat?
Oh yeah, well it says something like some kind of rag. But I'm like, my thought is either it is police corruption that he's just straight up lying, or again, it probably was covered up by whatever was in the locker. Or it could be some weird thing where Shen was told to put the gun in the locker, like, by the letter that he got, or whatever. But we'll see. I want to say it's just, either they're just idiots and they didn't look through the lockers good enough, or, there's police corruption. Order! Order! This photograph will be accepted as evidence.
Now this is really troublesome.
Does the defense counsel need to cross-examine?
Yes.
Afu, I've been thinking, Mr. Joseph should have seen this photo already. Why didn't he present it in the previous court hearing?
Perhaps he can think he can defeat us without presenting the photo.
That's not Mr. Joseph's style. I actually think perhaps the evidential The evidential strength of this photo isn't as strong as it appears.
That's
It's
why he's
not.
tapping his foot.
Mm-hmm.
Let me take a closer look. Goshen, there is indeed something strange.
Afu, point out to them the parts that you find unnatural.
If Shen was truly hiding a gun, the location where this object appears is very odd.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotta be whatever's in his other hand.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming, but I'm trying to see if there's anything else that it could be. Let's try it, I guess.
Yeah, because my other thing might be the.
Because they might argue that that's him trying to cover it up with something. But
Yeah, because my only other thing that I can see is the fingerprint, because again, he's holding the gun, but.
yeah.
Yeah, we know that his fingerprints are on the gun.
Yeah, which is probably on the gun because of this.
Yeah. Because we can tell that has to be locker 212.
Yeah.
Not all of that.
Yeah. Definitely 200.
There's no one in the background to
making
say
sure.
that this is weird. So yeah,
No one in
this
the
has gotta be
background.
it.
Let's just try it.
Mhm.
Not if we're okay. All right, good. Listen, this game's done a lot of like. We totally think we definitely have it, and then we're like, what? Huh?
And then we have to rework our luggage to prove something else. That's
Yeah.
like something that we didn't think we would have to prove yet.
Yeah.
Because this game is
It's very Ace Attorney inspired. Bless you.
Thanks.
Bless you, little tiny
don't
mouse that is scurried into the set.
See, it's because sometimes when you sneeze, you either have one of two sneezes. One, which is the slightly fake sneeze. It releases the pressure behind your nose so you don't have to worry about actual sneezing. And then the really hard sneezing, which hurts really badly because you have fragile bones and they'll break immediately upon sneezing.
I
You
can
know?
say pretty confidently I don't have those. Either of them. I just have one very loud sneeze that I do typically twice, and if I do it 3 times, it's strange.
Yeah, could be me.
Yep.
I have either tiny sneeze that's fake or large sneeze that hurt real bad.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, chat. Anyway, officers, I want to confirm something. The number 212 locker was originally empty, right? Well, Sergeant Singh personally inspected it. When Shen was arrested, there was a cloth bag inside the number 212 locker, right? Yes, there was a cloth bag which was also captured in the photo. And that bag, it looks empty, right? You have a keen eye. The bag is indeed empty.
Hey, you. What are you trying to say?
I'm saying your facts are wrong. What I want to say is, if Mr. Shen in the photo was indeed hiding a pistol, it would make more sense for the bag to be wrapped around the gun. Or was the bag inside the locker at that time? They both immediately stepped back.
They immediately did a synchronized sidestep. They step ball change in shock.
I'm sorry now, I'm just imagining all of the court at the dance. That's just this is what's going on. This dance, the whole thing, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Perhaps Mr. Shen himself left an empty bag in the locker? I say, looking to the side. You just said the locker was empty, and Sergeant Singh personally inspected it. I say, looking to the side.
Why are
They're
you
looking to the
clarifying
same side.
why they're looking at the side?
I just because it was the thing of him having the shifty eyes, and then I saw Alfu looking to the exact
I
same
think
side.
that's just what the
I know
sprites
it's
do
not-
sometimes when they're thinking.
I know. I just. Yeah. I think I learned in theater is based on the direction you're looking. Either you're recalling a memory or you're faking a memory,
See,
and making sure.
that's pseudoscience, though.
Yeah.
That has been unfortunately very disproven for a lot of that
Yeah.
to not be real.
But it's fun to think of.
Mm-hmm.
You just said the locker empty, and Dr. Sandra Singh had personally inspected
You already
it.
read it.
Well, indeed. I know I did, but I have to repeat it to myself.
Your defense is completely distorting the facts. It doesn't hold water.
You don't hold water.
Well then, let me ask Sergeant Singh. Why would someone who wanted to hide a pistol take it out of the bag in public? Well, that...
Sergeant Singh, are you sure you checked all the lockers at that time? Is it possible that there was a mistake or oversight?
Perhaps I was negligent at the time and didn't thoroughly check every locker. Therefore, I didn't discover the empty bag in the number 2112 locker. It is not logical to have only one empty bag in the locker. A more reasonable explanation is that the bag originally contained a pistol. The photo captures the moment when Mr. Shen is taking out the gun, not when he is putting it in. Thank you, Officer.
And Shanna only opened that locker after seeing the note that said Lyceum Theater 212. It's clear that someone is framing him. You guys are jumping a little too fast, guys.
The defense counsel overlooked a crucial fact. Don't forget, Stone Wu was killed by this pistol.
Well, indeed.
I must say, Prosecutor Joseph is truly remarkable. I almost got caught up in their arguments just now.
The shooting occurred between 8 o'clock and 8:30 p.m. This gun was still at Stone's store that. Furthermore, from 7:30 in the evening, the number 212 locker was under the surveillance of the police. The pistol couldn't have magically appeared in the locker.
That's because the murder happened after.
That's because the murder happened after. The defendant bringing it from the store to the theater is the only plausible explanation. Except for your walk!
The defense counsel's speechless now. Judge Herman, what do you think?
Stop asking me questions. If the
What do you
defense
think, my
counsel
most
has-
glorious superior? What do you think, Senpai?
I think that you should do your job.
Oh.
If the defense counsel has nothing else to say, then Judge Kwan can make a ruling.
Well, then let's...
Judge Kwan
Gasps.
gasps.
Prosecutor suddenly interrupted me. Is there something important to say?
Okay, so when the defense said something, you get mad, but when the prosecutor, I see
Yeah,
what it's.
this is Ace Attorney logic.
This
This is pretty much exactly how it plays out in Ace Attorney.
exactly.
Prosecutors are always highly respected and highly regarded, and then the defense attorneys are always bumbling idiots until proven otherwise.
Or worse. Bumbling idiots or worse.
Yeah, exactly.
even when we know for a fact and it's been rumored, like, hey, prosecutor, probably forged evidence. Don't worry about it though.
Even
But
if the
when it happens
prosecutor is
one
a
time,
convict.
even if the prosecutor is literally in jail and has been released on jail for special circumstances.
Yeah. In fact, the prosecutors are so respected that we're going to get them out of jail just to come do the case for us because clearly
What else did you
their
do?
stance here would be more valuable than than the defense attorneys. This is how the world works.
Or, the other option of like, yeah, we'll just fly in another prosecutor from around the country and then have him go back to his hometown so he can do another case. And then have him come back over here so he can do another case again. Don't worry about it. The prosecutor's really good, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. As far as I know, during the recess, the defense counsel discovered some new evidence.
Did we?
Checking my chair because my chair is not rocking back and forth evenly, and I don't know why.
Neither is mine, but I'm pretending it doesn't exist because that involves too much work. Because then I have to move wires, and because it's most definitely the thing of like I am on wires and I'm not supposed to be on wires.
Mine is designed to be a rocking chair, so that's why mine's concerning. Okay. Anyway,
Mine is
it was just
like
getting
rock
annoying
the
because I could
boat.
feel myself shifting, and I was like, stop! Anyway.
If they also believe these are not sufficient to affect the court's determination of the fact, then what were they doing? As prosecutor, I suggest ending the court investigation at this point.
Ouch.
New evidence during the recess? What evidence did you grab during the recess?
A lot of shit? The bullets, the hole in the floor, the secret bunker,
Oh, that happened during the recess. Okay.
Well,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
I can't remember what happened during or what happened after.
Well, the recess is the time between the trials.
Yes, I know, but like you know how it is when it's been a week and your brain is on functioning on like I just woke up
You
energies.
are obsessed with fucking Ace Attorney.
Yes, right now. To be clear, what happened before we got into this case was that I was like, oh, where did we go from? But I completely forgot what happened beforehand.
I love you so much.
So, I love you too. I am awake. I promise, guys. Trust me on this. Koshin, is Mr. Joseph trying to remind us of something?
It seems like he does want the chase to be argued more thoroughly. The case, not the chase.
Let's hope the next court hearing is a fair and balanced confrontation.
Hopefully, the judge and the observer will have the same patience.
Which new discovery during the recess should we introduce?
Secret, my love.
We found a secret door in the foreign goods store, and beneath it was a wine cellar. As we know, the police overlooked this place during the previous investigation.
Hey, you! Are you trying to question the police? Yes.
Yes.
Is it true that the police did not discover the wine cellar at first? But no evidence related to the shooting case was found in that wine cellar, except it is important because it literally is evidence that there could have been someone who didn't go through the front. There could have been someone hiding in the wine cellar. Whatever.
I could have been hiding in the wine cellar.
It's fine. Are there any other new discoveries?
Judge, during the recess, officer Wu found neat fingerprints on the pistol magazine.
Oh, whose fingerprints?
It's the victim, Stone Wu's.
Hey, you. This irrelevant finding is a waste of everyone's time. The pistol originally belonged to the victim. It's not surprising to find his fingerprints on the magazine, as he must have loaded the bullets. That makes sense. It sounds like these findings have no substantial impact on the trial outcome.
Oh! Judge, I still hope to question the discovery of new fingerprints on the pistol.
Oh? Why is that?
I just thought of something else that needs to be confirmed.
Hey, you!
What's that?
What do you mean by that? It's clearly stated in the report. What else is there to question? With such a large wine cellar at the crime scene, none of you discovered it. Who knows if there were similar oversights during the fingerprint examination? You! To be cautious, let's have Officer Wu give an introduction.
That's when we detected fingerprints previously. We only tested the exterior of the pistol. Later, we did additional tests on the magazine and found the fingerprints of Stone Wu. Here's the distribution of the fingerprints. On the side of the magazine, there's a paw print that matches the left hand of the victim. The magazine can hold 8 bullets, and after one shot was fired, there were 7 bullets left. On the side of the 7 bullets, we found the prints of Wu's right index finger and thumb. That's the situation.
Regarding this, does the defense counsel have anything to say?
I don't know why there would be a contradiction here. Because it's the left hand
that matches the left hand of the victim. Will except for one fired. There were 7 bullets left. On the side of these bullets, we found his right index finger, thumb. The situation. Verifying.
Maybe the contradiction with something else.
I don't know. Because my only thought could possibly be whether or not the pistol that with well, maybe this could be something where it's like, okay, but do we need to check the actual bullet that was fired? Something like
wait,
that.
check the shell, yeah.
No fingerprints were found on it.
Yeah, that one.
There we go. We got it. We're so smart.
There's a contradiction. Yes!
Defense counsel, there's no need to speak so loudly. I could hear you.
But I'm excited because I figured something out.
Go ahead, tell us. What is the issue?
Judge, there's an obvious contradiction here. If Stone's fingerprints are on the bullets in the magazine, it casts doubts on another evidence. And that's this bullet shell we found. Yeah. The evidence that contradicts the magazine is this bullet shell. Bullet shell?
Is there anything special about the bullet shell?
There are no significant traces found on the bullet shell. That's the problem. At the very least, there should be this person's fingerprint on the bullet shell. Shen think.
No, him, because it's all they're on the rest of the bullets.
Sorry, I was being joking.
Oh. Are you saying the victim?
Exactly. All the bullet shells from the magazine have his fingerprints on them. Sergeant Singh previously determined they were left by the victim while loading the gun. Since the bullet shell found at the crime scene came from the victim's pistol. Well, his fingerprint should also be there on the bullet shell. Indeed. But in fact, there is nothing on it.
No fingerprints. It is indeed strange. What could the reasoning could be the reasoning for this?
Okay, sorry. I have to blow my nose or else I would.
No, you're fine, I'm thinking. I don't see any reason why the fingerprints would have been wiped off.
No, they would have to be because the bullet. I mean, they couldn't be that there's another bullet, because if there was another bullet, then that means
Well, it could mean that he was shot somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then possibly shot again.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to try fingerprints have been wiped off? I'll try it.
I want to say fingerprints have been wiped off because, after all, it's like, well, if there's no fingerprints, it's gotta be they've wiped off. Clearly, the fingerprints on the shell have been wiped off.
Oh, seems you're right. Wiped off? Who'd wipe off the fingerprints on it?
It was probably done by the real culprit in this case. In any case, it definitely wasn't Shen. It doesn't make sense for him to wipe off the victim's fingerprints, but leave his own behind.
You? Does this real culprit have a reason to wipe off the victim's fingerprints?
Well, actually, yes.
Perhaps wiping off the victim's fingerprints wasn't his main objective. The real objective was to erase other traces on the shell. Hey, you. What other traces could there be?
Whiskey.
Good question. Rice powder? We found some fucking rice shit in the...
Yeah, there was
hole.
rice.
Let's discuss it before giving you an answer.
She's so smart.
She is.
She doesn't have to be, like, she's not forcing into giving the answer and not trying to say, hey, no, you're wrong. She's like, I'm gonna think about it, actually.
Let me
Hey, let's talk
ponder.
about this before you say anything.
Let me ponder with my boy fail. He is.
He is. No, he is. He's good at one thing, and it's not this.
It's not lawyering.
It's not lawyer. Koshin, it seems that the culprit didn't have a reason to specifically wipe the shell clean. If you really feel that the bullet shells are risky, it would be easy to just take them away.
Then why aren't any fingerprints on the bullet shells?
Let me think more about it.
No fingerprints. It is indeed strange. What could the reason be for this?
There's another bullet. I think maybe they were both right.
Maybe. Because I will say, the wiping off could make sense if it has to do with, because there, at least but we've speculated that we had that maybe the reason why the bag of rice was missing was that possibly it was used as some kind of silencer, or like something was used during the actual murder, because there is rice found in the bullet hole in the floor. So, there is possibility that maybe they found the shell to wipe that off. But I'm also like, it could be from a different gun, because it could be from something from a different gun, and that it was that two similar guns were used, and this one in particular was used to get the bullet so they could match. Like, I'm thinking of like convoluted logic, like convoluted Ace Attorney logic that we get to at a certain point, where it's like, to make it seem like it was used with another gun, they shot that one much long beforehand, took it, put it in the locker, so that the bullet would be there, and then used a different gun to actually shoot him. Because while they can trace the rifling marks on the bullet back to that gun, there's not really a way to trace whether or not it was that exact kind of bullet from the guy. You can trace the size, which they did, but there's always a chance someone just used this exact same size of bullet, but not the bullet from the same kind of gun.
Along with, like, no matter what, from the evidence we have, it means the shell was moved.
Yes.
We can say that for a fact, that
Absolutely.
the shell was moved. And so because it was moved, there's only so many reasons why it can't be moved. And that's what we're trying to figure out now.
Right.
Although it may sound hard to believe, but it's possible the bullet head and shell belong to two different bullets.
What? Huh. Did you never learn arithmetic?
Alfu, this pistol has indeed only been fired once.
But there could be 2 pistols.
Is it possible that the bullets were fired from another pistol? There are still 7 bullets left inside the magazine of the pistol, while its total capacity is 8.
Silence! Silence!
The victim's fingerprints are present on all the bullets from his pistol. But there are no fingerprints on this bullet shell. Therefore, it is not a bullet from the victim's pistol. This seems to be the simplest and most meaningful explanation.
Silence! Silence! Hey, you. Did you hear all this noise? It's all the result of your absurd theories and nonsensical talk.
I thought I explained it well.
Don't listen to him, Afu. We are about to find the opponent's weak spot. Ignorant and as blind. How could you forget that we have conducted a comparison of the rifling marks on the bullet? No, because this would make sense, because that's why the body wasn't on the right spot.
Yeah.
It all makes sense because they shot in the ground, they moved his body, but they didn't actually fucking put him in the right spot. The comparisons of rifling marks cannot be wrong. The bullet was fired from the victim's pistol.
However, rifling comparisons can only confirm the bullet head comes from the victim's pistol. But the bullet shell does not go through the rifling and is not within the examination range.
Exactly. Ugh.
Counselor, are you suggesting the bullet head and the bullet shell come from 2 different guns?
Yes. No fingerprints on the bullet shell. I can think of no other explanation more reasonable.
Can't this problem be explained in any way? Maybe it was just a careless examiner who accidentally wiped them off. Yeah, but then
Unlikely.
But then you're introducing the idea of police malpractice. So,
He's like,
hey, you better be quiet. If that's the case, it implies there's flaws in the investigative process. Thank you, Koshin. Thank you. Exactly my thought. If you want to go this route, Mr. Guy, you have to acknowledge that everything could be wrong and Shen could be innocent. So do you want to go down this route? Because we'll go down this route. We have reason to doubt the reliability of all the evidence issued by the police. Question the police. Silence. Silence! The 2 of you stop arguing. I'm already getting dizzy from all this.
my guy, please.
Does the prosecutor have any opinions on this?
If the shell and bullet came from 2 different guns, it suggests 2 shots occurred at the scene. But the police only found 1 bullet hole, 1 bullet shell, and 1 bullet at the scene. The lack of fingerprints on the bullet shell may have another reason.
Sounds like there was only 1 gunshot at the scene. Therefore, the defense counsel's arguments is not... Wait a minute! What if the defense counsel can prove that there were 2 gunshots?
Wait, how?
I think we can. Maybe.
How?
Well, first of all, the hole situation.
Yeah.
Bullet holes on the backside of the carpet. There are no rice grains. Were found on the backside of the carpet, which is also weird. Which there's the rice situation, which is weird. This was found on the backside of the carpet, which is strange. I don't know if we have the evidence for it, but there's also the shit was misaligned. A pinky-sized fan-shaped fragment found in the bullet hole of the scene. That's also very strange. The bullet hole in general is just very weird.
It is
Um,
very cool. And I'm just like, the think of like, we can't prove. My first issue is that didn't we prove like the part of the issue was that we couldn't prove that the murder happened? Yep, there
yeah.
was a gunshot at all. Wasn't that like half the
That was
problem?
part
Was
of
that
it,
we
but they argued that it was because, like, oh, well, it was whenever
it happened during the bell?
the bell went off. But yeah, it's, I mean, exactly the point. No one ever actually said they heard any gunshots. So there's actually very much the potential, again, that the guy could have been just killed somewhere else. But, you know.
Again, we're still staring here, and we know the fact that there was this giant safe that was in here, and
Yeah,
it's
oh
now
yeah.
gone.
Again, the
And we know this
dramatic
is
irony. Well, they have said now that the safe was in there and it was taken away, but we haven't been allowed to discuss it at all because they're just mysteriously not bringing it up. So I'm gonna investigate this crime scene. Let me just go through everything. That's the news. That's the magic troop. That's the news of the arrest. Discarded tip-off letters. The old photo. The note in the photo frame. The autopsy report. Paper written in English. The note. The pistol. The bullet head. We know that these two came from the same pistol. That's the important thing.
yes.
We know that this is now suspicious and possibly came from a different gun. This is the magazine that definitely came from this one. There's the lost bag of rice, which is strange. There's indentations left by the desk legs that have not faded after many days, indicating that the desk was moved recently. That is definitely very strange. I don't know if it has to relate to the bullet hole, but it's like these couple things where I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe depending on the questions they ask, I think we might be able to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering if
just
the
have
reason the
discussion.
if like the reason the bag of rice is missing is maybe if because something was hidden in there to hide whatever was happening. Something. Anyway, we'll figure
Yeah.
it out.
We'll figure it out.
Oh, if that's the case, then present the relevant evidence.
Kosin, you already know how to prove it?
Actually, I haven't figured it out yet. But my experience with investigation tells me your speculation is likely closer to the truth.
But how can we prove that there were 2 gunshots?
I do really like these two working together because I think they're both very.
Yeah.
As much as I'm joking that she is doing all of the work because she is doing a lot of it. Afu is helping, and I think they do balance each other out well with the
It's
talking
very
it
much
out.
me staring at like this is us core. Me
Yes,
going,
it's
"How
very
does
S core.
You have nothing, Shinema. I have this. I need you to figure out how I
Like,
got
calm down, like, slow down. Like, let's think about Mr. Joseph. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you read that?
I have no idea.
Here, you can, in case you didn't.
But how can we prove that there were 2 gunshots?
Let's think about Mr. Joseph's words in reverse. If there were indeed 2 gunshots at the scene, there should have been 2 bullet holes. Unless someone shot a bullet into a bag of rice. So why did we only find 1? Or they shot it into the back of the safe. Or something. I don't know. Something. Could the murderer have hidden the bullet hole? Could be in a bag of rice.
Whenever Sean encounters such a situation, he always likes to say one thing. All contact leaves traces. The evidence is not non-existent, but instead undiscovered. Maybe the murderer did hide the bullet hole. There would be traces left from the hiding, right? I think this would be the fish scale.
Monkey-sized fan shape. Found the bullet holes at the scene. I'm thinking it's either going to be the fish scale or it's going to be this. Because this to me I think is the most suspicious. Because it's no rice grains were found anywhere else in the study, but it was found on the back side of the carpet. Not on the front, like on the top of it, like on the underneath side. Which is very weird. Which just makes me wonder if they shot the bullet like, again, this is gonna sound crazy. If they took a bag of rice, put it underneath the carpet, shot a bullet into that hole, like, okay. What I maybe think maybe happened, possibly,
keep me.
This, I don't know if this is gonna be true because this is definitely a little wild, but this, I don't think this is completely out of the realm of reality. I think they took this gun, the actual gun, shot a hole through the carpet, into the floor, whatever it might be, shot something in there to make, or not even, maybe even not that, maybe even they just shot it into wait. No, I think my brain, okay, again, this might be a little ridiculous, but like this is how it works out in my brain. Because they couldn't show the bullet hole if Shen's gonna come in there, because they're, you know, staging the whole thing. They took a pistol, shot, like, rolled up the carpet, shot it into the floor, somewhere, to leave the bullet behind, etc. Rolled back up the carpet, took the gun, hid in the locker, etc., etc. After Shin left, got the gun, whatever, they took the body out, rolled up the carpet again, put the bag of rice where the bullet hole was, rolled it back down, shot the gun, or put what's-his-nuts on top of that, shot a gun into the fucking, threw him into the rice, where it got trapped into the rice, took that all out, like, had to move his body, do all of that, to roll it back up, put it back down, and then leave him there. And that is why it's off-centered from the hole, and that's why when they shot it into the rice underneath the carpet as a buffer, it got rice on the inside of the thing, and that's where the bullet actually is where it left, or something like that. Though that doesn't explain how the fish scale comes in, though.
We don't know about the fish scale.
We don't know about the fish scale.
I'm assuming that maybe there was a fish inside of the rice.
There could have been.
And that was part of the deal.
Yeah.
It was because the rice was hiding these things. And
Could
they
have
realized,
been.
like, yeah, we had to take that with us.
Yeah, could be. I think I can feel that this is all coming together, though. I can see where the directions are leading, I think. I hope. What do you want to try? Do you want to try the fish scale, or do you want to try the rice on the carpet? What does your gut tell you?
Let's try the back of the carpet.
Try the back of the carpet? Okay. If not, we'll try this fish scale.
If not, then I want to try
No.
missing. Oh, okay, it's not this.
Okay.
This thing appearing near the bullet hole is very suspicious.
What does this have to do with the gunshots?
Let me think about it.
Maybe we do try the missing bag of rice then.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully. Maybe. Okay.
Fish scale all along.
Defense counsel, please explain this. Okay.
We're
We're on it. We can do it. Like, we're so.
do it.
Maybe the murderer did hide the bullet hole. There'd be traces left from the hiding. Could it be this?
The desk moving?
Like the desk was moved to cover up
Yeah.
another bullet hole, maybe?
Maybe. I mean, we know the desk was moved recently, and that's the only other thing other than the fish scale.
Yeah,
It's
because
gotta be either the rice, the fish scale, or the desk moving. Let's go with the desk scale because
Let's try
there's
the
traces
desk
left from hiding.
Ooh. Yay! We're on it. We're on it. We got it. We're doing it.
The evidence that can prove there were 2 gunshots is on the carpet at the crime scene.
It was the rice all
The
along.
carpet.
Mr. Joseph said there was only 1 bullet hole at the crime scene. In fact, there are 2 bullet holes. One on the carpet, another on the floor underneath the carpet.
Ooh, shady. But the... No, that's you. I think I see where he's going with it.
Yeah, but the position of the 2 bullet holes are completely overlapping. The bullet went through the victim's body, the carpet, and lodged itself into the floor beneath.
Right.
This was caused by the same gunshots.
How do you know that? Because the body wasn't even lined up with the fucking hole.
Not necessarily. It could have been 2 different.
What if the carpet we see is not in its original position?
Gasp.
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 These are indentations left by the desk legs on the carpet.
Yeah, I see where the logic is going, is because why would they have had to move the desk at all if not to move the entire carpet and not just roll it up? I understand, I see you. I understand now. It's all coming together.
Judging from the restoration of the indentations, the desk was not moved. The desk was not moved for a long time. Originally, I couldn't understand why the desk changed its position. And now I finally have an answer.
See, if I were the killer in this case, I would simply actually move the desk back into the obvious indentations in the carpet. Because I pay attention to such things.
I think the issue that what they're saying is that, like, no, because that doesn't make sense either for what we're trying to say. Because I can't tell if what they're saying is that the indentations that were made were new ones.
No, they're old
But
ones.
that would make sense. Yeah, it's the old ones. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and
they
though
should just move-
they're like, I literally can look at them on like carpet right now. If something with great weight has been in the same spot for a long enough time, they leave almost like permanent indentations in the carpet that take quite a while to go away.
Yeah. Now my whole thing was just because of the way it was worded was weird. Of like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they're silly. That's right. It's not the position of the desk that changed, but the position of the carpet. The culprit moved the carpet to align the bullet hole in the carpet with the one on the floor. That's why they couldn't move it.
Yeah.
This way, they can cover up the presence of another pistol. And that's why they couldn't put it back into the thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, they coulda. They just didn't. This explanation does make sense logically. Best, but upon further consideration, it still seems strange.
Indeed, the strangeness lies in. If the hole in the carpet was not made by the same gun as the one on the floor, then there should be another bullet hole on the floor that corresponds to the carpet.
Not
And
if
that's
they
where the back of
shot
the
it
comes in.
into a bag of rice! Or a fish!
Additionally, there should be 2 bullet heads and 2 shells at the crime scene. Fish. Defense counsel, can you explain clearly where they went? They went
Into a bag of
Sorry,
rice.
That was a bad joke that I was about to make.
What? What were you about to make?
I was gonna make a your mom joke.
The fact that you think that's a bad... Well, I mean, it's a bad joke in the fact that it's a cheap joke, but it's... The fact that you think that's like a bad joke, like...
Sorry. They went into your mouth. Sorry. You understand, right?
Yes. I just think that you're silly and I love you. I think that your standards on what you can or can't say are quite funny.
My standards are perfect and normal.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, one might say that they're tutorably normal. I was gonna make that make sense, but I forgot.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Joseph's question is crucial. I must come up with an answer.
Rice.
Rice.
It's a bag of rice. Afu! Afu, it's a bag of rice!
Actually, there's only one possibility. They're taken away by someone. It is indeed likely that the bullet head and shell were taken away by someone. The police have thoroughly searched the study a few times. Kosen and I have also investigated. If they were still at the scene, they would have definitely been discovered.
You are truly making stars turn in your own sky. They might take away the bullet head and shell, but can they also take away the bullet holes?
The bullet hole is not on the floor.
Yeah.
They could have shot the bullets into movable objects instead of the floor.
Yeah, like a bag of rice. Or a fish!
Or a fish. Okay, it can't be the fish because the fish is kind of too small.
Oh yeah, well also the shell was
Like
in
that.
the main bullet hole, so the bag of rice! We have inspected the entire study and didn't find anywhere that resembles a second shell.
If the bullets were shot into an object, and the culprit took that object with him. Yeah, you see what we're talking about now, right?
So, how did the culprit take the bag of rice? Yeah! Vindication that I'm correct!
See, this time we were only just one step ahead, and
We
that
were.
was the problem. Did anyone notice? There are several scattered rice grains near the bullet hole in the back of the carpet.
Are these rice grains relevant to the case? Yes, we tried to talk about it earlier!
I'm sorry, it's me going at this point in time.
Ooh, we got
Ace
dramatic
Attorney,
music.
You definitely would have Afu slam the desk, but they can't do this game. This would have
don't
been
need
definitely
to.
a slam the desk moment.
Yeah. Well, they have their own dramatic music and sting that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my brain is going to be sleepy.
It's okay.
Of course they are. That is the method the culprit used to take away the bullet head.
What do you mean? With a few rice grains?
A few rice grains wouldn't do much, but a bag of rice would be enough to catch the bullet head. Officer Lee, who examined the scene, reported that a bag of foreign rice was missing afterwards. I believe that the bag of rice was taken away by the culprit. They first placed the bag of rice under the carpet, and then fired the gun.
Exactly the image I was describing.
We were correct on this.
Yeah!
Rice grains disperse and absorb the energy of a bullet, capturing the bullet head in the bag.
I do unfortunately feel the looming question of, okay, but what about the shell? But it's okay. We're not going to worry about that right now.
Alright. Okay, clearly they just picked it up and took it with them.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, yeah, more of just like, well, why did they take the right bullet but the wrong shell kind of a thing.
They can't see fingerprints immediately.
I mean, true, but it's more of like, if they did this first with, well, yeah, maybe they just took the, okay, well, I don't know. I'm just more of the game probably is gonna question it, but we'll see. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just solve it for us, and we won't have to answer. But it's okay. It's fine.
Maybe the game will just.
I'm thinking too far ahead.
This method sounds quite plausible. The culprit used a bag of rice to take away the bullet head. The scattered rice under the carpet is a result of this process. This can explain why. There was only one bullet hole on the floor. Look at him. He has bags under his eyes.
Wow.
A true man of science.
Defense counsel, you have almost convinced me. There are some moments I wish I had a standing desk, and this is one of those moments. My body is just like, I want to stand, which I can stand, but then I have to hunch over to actually, which I guess I'm going to just do now, but now I'm going to have to hunch over to, like, click things. It's just having that moment of just like, I want to sit, I want to get up, walk around. I mean, then again, this literally happened with 999 the other night, where I'm just like, the excitement of the mystery has forced me to be on my feet.
You have to be
I have to pace around like an agitated cat or I'll die.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We can calm it down.
the method you described, although complex, can indeed explain some of the evidence at the scene. However, even if the court accepts your claim, what difference does it make?
That
What do
question.
you mean? What do you fucking mean, what difference does it make? What do you fucking mean by that? It completely recontextualizes the entire fucking thing.
He's not smart.
He's
Remember
not.
this.
He's so dumb.
That question. I haven't thought about it
What do you mean you haven't thought of it?
yet. Please interrupt now.
Koshin, save us! You haven't thought about it? I can give you some time to gather your thoughts. I am deeply generous. Well done, Afu. The scales of victory are beginning to tip in our favor.
But my mind is now completely blank.
I'm just covering. So at this point, until they, I mean, I'm sure they're going to bring up some new bullshit of like how we're wrong. The fish scale is now a very important question, of course.
Yeah.
Still got to talk about him being trapped in the safe because he totally was trapped in the safe.
He was totally trapped in the safe.
Totally trapped in the safe. Anyway, I feel this. I feel this deceptive feeling where it feels like we basically have almost solved the entire thing, but there's going to be like another 4 hours of bullshit that we have to go through first. I'm feeling that looming feeling.
The looming feeling of we know what's happening now. We've got the only question we were having confused with.
I mean, I think the only thing that... Yeah, I think I'm the only thing that I don't have, like... that I don't understand conceptually is just what the fish scale represents. But that's, like, the only thing. Because I understand, like, everything else links to, you know, him selling illegal drugs. I have a strong feeling that fucking Sergeant Singh was probably in on the business and whatnot. And, like, you know, so that they probably knew about the secret lab, and that probably is motivation for reason why he's been killed. And, you know, while Shen is being framed. If anything, the only thing right now is obviously just how Shen actually works in this, and obviously whoever did this has to have some intimate knowledge about what happens, which is why I do think that, honestly, the penultimate reality we're about to expose is that Joseph's dad, his papa, is behind this and is the one orchestrating all of this happening because he realized that Shen was getting too close to the truth. So he literally hired possibly Sergeant Singh, possibly someone else, to go take him out. Or to basically go take out, first of all, the one guy who maybe knows too much, and then also frame Shen so that he can get out of the way. And that's why some of this stuff, because obviously there's also something about like Shen. Also, you can't see it right now. I'm literally walking back. I'm pacing around like a fucking cat. I'm literally like doing a half circle around my chair back and forth. This is what these things do to me. But the words, because the one thing we don't know right now is Shen has alluded to a couple times of like, what happens when they find out? Like, find out what, Shen? What are we about to find out that, like, you've been hiding from us that's gonna, like... So that's why I have the unfortunate feeling that something super damning is about to happen. Like, we're about to get some unveiled information, which I'm thinking could possibly be motivation. It could have to do with the picture that we found, and that, like, you know, something big is happening, and that Shen's not telling us, that makes it look absolutely like he did it. Or that Shen literally just blacked out and can't even remember what happened. Like, because it's also a possibility. So, anyway, I'm just yapping out loud. I'm just I'm mentally bracing for what's about to come.
I think the main thing that I wanted to say was that specifically, I think how the fish scale comes into play is that it was supposed to be part of the deal. The way that the fish and the drugs were supposed to be smuggled out was through the rice.
Mm-hmm.
So when it was accidentally hit with that bag of rice, that's why that fish scale came out. And
I
also
think that
part of the
would make
reason why they had to
sense.
make sure that they couldn't just leave the bag of rice. They had to take the bag of rice too as well, because otherwise it would have been discovered.
I think that's a very plausible theory. Yeah. Again, it would make sense because if like Singh or the police are in on this, could absolutely make sense of why it would go missing. I do think it's Singh because I think so far he's been the one who's been the most in the way of our shit.
It's definitely Singh.
Yeah, like Officer Lee has been in our way, but also seems to be discovering things with us that are just as weird. What's his name? Wu, the other guy in court right now.
Probably knows things that
he definitely knows things, but he can't. He's been intimidated into not saying anything or something, or he could have done it. Who knows? So I think it's either the scenario that he knows something that Singh did and he's been intimidated into silence, or he actually definitely knows
Isn't a
more
couple.
about what's going on, and Singh is just being very opulent and being in our way.
Yeah.
So something. I do think that there's definitely like police were involved in the smuggling, so I think it's totally possible that that bag of rice had a fish in it, and they're like, ah, shit, I gotta get this fucking out of here, man. um, it's just interesting. It's all interesting. Obviously, because I mean, I bet the cat's gonna come back into it because the whole thing was the cat went missing after hearing a loud noise. That noise could have been a gunshot.
Yeah.
Or something similar, and it ended up in the cellar, whatever, and got trapped in there for a while. So, yap, yap, yap,
Got trapped in there, ate the
etc.
drug fish, and then died.
Mm-hmm.
To be clear, the cat isn't dead.
No, the
Anyway,
cat's not dead, but at this point, I don't question anything you say. At this point, if I question it, we'll be here all night.
Counsel, please listen carefully.
Oh, here he goes with his lawyering bullshit, with his prosecuting bullshit. He's gonna get all in our fucking way about it.
But it's okay, because all we need to find is that one thread that we can just snip, and it
Snip,
all
snip,
fall into
snip.
pieces. He's just tying the thing for us. He's just tying all the loose ends together. So that we can just cut that one string and then it all lays down.
Yeah,
flat.
that's definitely how I describe this court case going. Definitely not Afu and fucking. It's definitely not just the two of them fucking floundering for majority of this.
I do think it has been a little bit of Joseph like saying, hey, here's a string. How are you going to cut
Yeah,
the
him just
string?
literally giving us the answer because he's just pities us.
Though you have successfully explained the issues of the bullet shell, hole, and fingerprints, you still haven't shaken one fundamental fact. The bullet that killed the victim came from a gun with the defendant's fingerprints on
How
it.
do you know that's the bullet that killed him? How do you know? You can't trace that on his body.
I'm sorry, just the way you sang it just reminded me of like the history of the world thing or whatever it's called.
Listen, I'm literally up on my feet pacing around. I have like too much energy for this nonsense right now. I'm gonna fist fight them. That's how I'm gonna win this court case.
And this is why we are not lawyers.
No, not at all. The amount of times in the courtroom I would get visibly frustrated and just start yelling like, "Just that's so dumb! Shut up!" Like,
You're dumb.
it doesn't make any sense. The amount of time I would get the accidental wrong interpretation of the logic and start like going on a totally different thread because I misunderstood what someone said. Be terrible.
Yeah.
The amount of times you just start saying things and the courtroom would have to look at you visibly confused. We'd be great filibusters, though, I'll tell you what. We could filibust all night long, baby.
We could do so much. Not good things, but we could do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Furthermore,
Furthermore. You're okay. You're sick, I
Furthermore,
forgive you.
only the defendant could have taken the pistol from the crime scene to the theater. As long as these two questions remain unanswered, it is impossible for anyone else to be the perpetrator in this case. Do you understand?
No.
Oh, the music stopped. I was jamming. I was doing a whole floor show over here. No one can see it.
I'm sorry, I just like the way that Joseph actually paused because when I was supposed to read it's like, do you understand? And it's just
Yeah,
like
do you-
me just imagining Afi with like this cat face. It's just
He's
like
literally just staring like wide-eyed and blank. It just there's not a thought between those ears.
just the blip
Yeah.
face of like
He's staring absolutely. There's not a thought behind those eyes.
Not a thought behind either of the pair of glasses.
Meanwhile, Koshin is just sitting there, just like. Defense counsel, did you hear the prosecutor's words clearly?
No. I can't hear.
Afu, did you break your speaking bone again? Whatever it's called. Did you break it again?
No, I'm doing great. I just can't hear. Don't you know?
Defense counsel, time is almost up. Do you have an answer? Goshen, save your man. Save this boy. Please. Say something.
Help. Timing.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Sorry.
The timing. Whose voice is this? The key to the case is the timing of. Shen!
Is this real Shen or is this mine Shen, though? Oh, there we go. Just flashback Shen, that's what it is. It's a secret third Shen.
Secret third Shen.
Everything up until now has been carefully planned. There are hidden details that I haven't fully grasped. I didn't want to involve you in them.
Don't talk about involvement. If you have a problem, then it's my problem too.
If you want to uncover the truth behind it all, you must remember, the key to the case is timing, Afu.
Yeah, the fact that the gun was shot after, that was very important.
Yes, very important.
Understood.
You may experience moments of confusion. When you feel overwhelmed by the complexity, try entering your own mind palace. It's always really good advice to tell people to enter mind palaces. It's super good advice, guys. It's not.
What do you mean? This is very good advice. This is actually the best advice we could give anyone ever.
When all else fails, maladaptive daydream, child.
Huh? I also have a mind palace? I thought that was a unique ability of yours, Shen. I thought it was just you.
I thought just zoning out for a minute and then suddenly having the answers was just a thing you did. It's just a way of thinking. Afu, what's your mind palace gonna look like?
Imagine a space, place your memories in, and let them work together like chains and gears. The gears are spinning, but there's nothing connecting them.
The police captured Mr. Shen in the moment of taking the gun, not in the moment of placing it.
The defendant was arrested at 8:30 p.m. and the gun was confiscated. I know what words are. Confiscated by the police.
Yes, the seized weapon cannot be used for murder. The prosecutor's deduction is reasonable.
Wrong. Look at him and his bag's under his eyes.
Afu, are you okay? Judge Kwan is questioning and you've just been zoned out for the past 5 minutes.
Koshin, I can piece everything together now, but there's still some uncertain details.
Shen watching him zone out from the fucking booth over there, just being like, my god, he's doing it. Look at him, he's doing it. He's entering his mind palace.
I can only answer Judge Kwan's questions while thinking.
Just say it, don't worry. Even if you say something wrong, I'll help cover for you. Defense counsel, I'll ask one more time. What are the facts that you advocate for?
Judge Kwan, the key to this case is timing.
Oh, how so?
Mr. Joseph repeatedly mentioned that the reason why Shen is considered the culprit is that during the presumed time of death from 8 o'clock to 8:30 p.m., only he had entered and exited the scene. But in fact, the autopsy determined the time of death to be between 8 o'clock to 10 p.m. The reason why it was adjusted to before 8:30 is that the weapon was confiscated at the time. This reasoning seems flawless until just now.
He's doing it.
We discovered the existence of another gun.
He's doing it.
What do you think its existence
Come
changes?
on. Come on, little buddy.
It changes everything in the reasoning. Because that is a true murder weapon.
Gah! I like how he was unfazed. And he was unfazed.
That's because he knew the truth. We
That's
know
true.
this. He's just being silly about it. Please, tell us why you believe that gun is to be the true murder weapon. Because the gun confiscated by the police cannot be used, the culprit must have used another gun. How do you explain that? We have discussed this before. The reason why the seized gun cannot be used for murder.
Bum 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 bum. Because of the
Bullet shell.
shell. No!
This is wrong.
Whoops.
Defense counsel, you presented this evidence.
It
But it
is-
doesn't prove why the culprit continues. Do you understand? Let me think more about it.
Wait. Okay, wait, what was the question? I got too excited. We've discussed this before. The reason why the seized gun can't be used for murder.
Why can't the gun that was the victim, why can't the victim's gun be used for murder? And that was because of it had to have been in the bag.
Yes. I think so. Because that'd be like the
Yeah,
idea of like if he was there to get the gun out of the locker, then why? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Please?
Please?
Okay, thank God. He's gonna die.
When discussing this photo, Cosin once pointed out when Shen was arrested, he was taking the gun out of the locker, not placing it in.
Mr. Joseph insisted Mr. Shen took the gun from the foreign goods store, and due to the rifling marks. Now, all the evidence indicates that the murderer used two guns. Ah, epic music. Mr. Joseph's rebuttal is no longer valid.
The gun was used by the culprit to frame Shen. It was always there and couldn't be used for murder. How do you explain the bullet and bullet hole in this crime scene then? The rifling marks on the bullet match those of the confiscated gun. It suggests that someone did indeed fire it at the floor of the crime scene.
Yes, it's all coming together. Do it.
But
Yes.
this happened before Shen went to the foreign goods store.
Yes.
That's impossible. There's clearly blood on the bullets. Fish blood.
The blood could have the blood could have flowed into the bullet hole after the victim's death.
That makes sense. Officer Wu, perhaps you should discuss the issue of bullet hole depth with the defense counsel. Yeah? The issue of depth? Right. How do you explain the depth of the bullet penetrating the floor? If the culprit fired a shot into the floor and left the bullet and bullet hole, it should have gone farther into the ground. Then it shouldn't have this depth. What?
The fish scale?
I'm not trying to make a big deal out of it, but I find it very strange. Can it not just be the rice again?
I think this is where maybe the fish scale comes involved. Because maybe they put the fish scale there because it's hard and rigid and it would, brace the impact a bit. Adjust the depth. Order in the court! Mr. Joseph, can you please explain it to me again?
Judge Kwan, what Officer Wu means is, if the bullets hit the floor without piercing the human body, its power would be much greater. The depth of the bullet hole left on the floor shouldn't be what we see now.
Fish scale, it's the fish scale.
Fish scale, fish scale, fish scales, fish scale.
So you mean that?
All the defense counsel's arguments are based on one core assertion.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think it can be the bag of rice because our argument with the bag of rice before was that it stopped the bullet entirely. So it didn't come out the other side. I don't think it could have been the bag of rice unless something else was used to transport the other bullet and all that shit.
The bullet and the bullet hole were made before the defendant entered the crime scene. But they didn't consider the issue of bullet hole depth. If this issue is not resolved, then the defendant's reasoning will completely fall apart.
Fish scale. That's my reasoning. Defense counsel, what about the issue of bullet hole depth? Do you have a way to explain?
Right. What exactly is the story behind the bullet hole?
Oh, sorry, yawning. Judge, the defense counsel needs some time to prepare. Arthur, what the fuck?
Oh shit, I'm sorry. I completely overlooked this question.
We've come this far. We can't give up now. Let's think carefully again. At the crime scene, there must be something that has been overlooked. The fish fucking scale.
It did smell very fishy. Is it because of this that the bullet holes are shallow?
Ah. Yeah! Sorry. Again, when I say I have so much unused energy right now, this is what I'm talking about. I'm like a child. This is... It seems that a black carp was taken away from the cellar. This piece of debris in the deformation scale of the green fish that was hit by the bullet. The deformed scale of the green fish that was hit by the bullet.
A fish scale? Could it be?
Bless you.
Ow.
Joseph, could it be? Excuse me, Your Honor.
Ow.
Don't hurt yourself.
I didn't do any tiny seasons. Now my throat hurts and I'm suffering.
Hey. She?
Okay, sorry, I had to blow my nose.
Oh, okay.
Allergies are silly sometimes, guys. Chat, I just want to let you know that this is the time period where it's allergy season. And because it's allergy season, it means I am suffering.
Yeah.
In like 3 different dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
The X, Y, and Z dimension.
Yeah.
Which is like, 3 dimensions. Because we are in 3D, presumably.
Okay.
Presumably. That's right, the culprit didn't shoot directly at the floor. Instead, he brought a fish from the cellar into the study and shot through it at the floor. Shooting through a fish?
Officer Wu, if the bullet hole we see now was formed after the bullet went through the fish, does the issue of depth still exist?
I think that's the right one. Nope, that was the wrong one.
What did you do?
Oh well. But
Oh.
I stepped out into a band.
I can ban him. I got it.
Band. Never mind, unbanned.
I said I was gonna do it!
Yeah, I was already doing the point time that you said it.
I swear to God.
Anyway, I have to copy this. Oh, let's see.
Copy what?
Okay, anyway, we'll continue now. Sorry, I'm just adding things to AutoMod. Okay. Then it no longer exists. With this, the truth is about to be revealed. The culprit entered the scene before Shen. He knocked the victim unconscious, hid him in the cellar, and took the pistol from the drawer. Then he took a fish from the cellar to the study, lifted the carpet, and shot through the fish. Leaving the bullet and the hole, he restored the carpet and took away the fish and the shell.
Why did the culprit take away the bullet shell? Mr. Shen is a renowned detective, and the culprit may have been wary of him. Worried that he would become alerted if he found the bullet shell. Makes sense. Please continue.
Next, the culprit hid the gun in the theater locker, waiting for the police to steal off the scene. After confirming Shen's arrest and the confiscation of the pistol, the culprit acted again.
See, this guy makes me suspicious because I'm like, maybe 60% sure that was the guy in the flashback talking to the fucking dude, the old guy.
Again, I do think it's really silly how they have quote unquote PNG for the killer as this completely.
I know, it's really funny. Some default movie maker kind of puppet thing.
And it's yes, you took the whole skin and just colored it black and colored everything black so you can say, we don't know who this guy is.
This shadowy figure with no hair.
No hair at all.
Or other discernible features. I love it. It's really good. It's iconic.
And they use it well because it doesn't very clearly hide a lot of things. So instead with game where it's okay, if they took the PNG, we're wait, that person has this kind of hair, so we know it has to be this.
Yeah.
And I think what we would normally do. But no, this one is okay, we know that this is just a gag.
Oh yeah. Gag. Well, because we don't know who it is, so they can't just visually show us if we're just speculating and we don't actually know who it is.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. Yeah. It's really
It's
good.
also the thing of when giving it different features like hair, we're oh well, this character has this kind of hair, so it's them. When it's no, this is a gag. This is a gag.
It's funny.
Okay. After confirming Shen's arrest and the confiscation of the pistol, the culprit acted again. He placed a bag of rice on top of the bullet hole and then covered it with the carpet. He then dragged the victim back to the scene and placed him on top of the bulging rice bag. He used another pistol of the same caliber to shoot the victim. Seeing the two holes didn't match, he moved the carpet to align it with the hole on the floor. Finally, he kicks the body a few times to further hide the issue with the bullet trajectory.
So that's how it is.
This is the truth of the case.
Judge, our client, Mr. Shen Chengping, is not the culprit. He is a scapegoat deliberately framed by the real murderer. Please make a verdict of not guilty.
Make it.
I'm mentally bracing because I know that the moment I click the next button, there's gonna be some bullshit. The defense counsel's viewpoint is quite insightful. Hey you, Judge Quan. I knew it was gonna be you. Are you so easily convinced by such a flawed analysis?
Yes, actually.
Your honors, every step of Afu's analysis of the modus of operandi is supported by evidence. The rice grains under the carpet and the fish scales in the bullet hole are not by coincidence. These are not coincidences, but false clues intentionally left by the defendant. The fingerprints on that bullet shell were definitely wiped off by him.
How dare you make such a claim?
Because Mr. Shen is a smart detective. He surely has strong counter-deduction abilities. Yeah, but not counter-deduction abilities that would be like, yeah, I'm gonna wipe my fingerprints off this bullet casing, but not the gun? Like,
Not the gun.
This-
I mean, I guess we can agree. They can say, like, yeah, because he was holding the gun, that's why he couldn't wipe his
but yeah, but why
fingerprints
didn't he
off.
wear gloves? He's so smart.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, easy peasy. Sorry.
this was your own argument in the previous trial, don't you remember?
Shen would never fabricate evidence. I mean, if he's being framed for a crime.
Yeah. His purpose, of course, is to collude with the two defense counsels and help him get acquitted. I object. This is an unjust accusation.
Objection overruled. The evidence provided by the defense counsel does not have sufficient probative force.
Okay. Sure.
Probative force.
Judge Herman, but there is also no evidence to support Sergeant Singh's argument.
Shut up. During my tenure in the international settlement, I saw many Chinese exploiting system loopholes.
Uh-huh.
I do not want such matters to happen in this.
Uh-huh. Thanks to Judge Herman's reminder. Defense counsel, please provide more compelling evidence.
Compelling evidence? What?
Yeah, more compelling evidence than, I don't know, a bullet casing that doesn't have fingerprints like the other ones do. Or, I don't know, a fish scale that is mysteriously in the bullet hole. Or, I don't know, rice that is somehow on the bottom of the fucking carpet. Ah!
Sorry, a lot of things you're asking for is stuff we literally cannot give you.
I know.
Gone.
God.
That is the point of what the problem is that this was taken from the scene of the crime. So we are using the evidence of what remains to prove something. But
Exactly.
well, what other evidence can there be?
Is there anything that Mr. Shen cannot forge?
His fingerprints?
Afu, based on your reasoning, the murderer entered the scene after Mr. Shen's arrest. As long as we can prove this, it will prove Mr. Shen's innocence, right?
Maybe there is a witness at the scene who can tell us the answer. Cat.
The cat.
The cat.
Oh yeah, baby. It's the cat time!
Sorry, it is time. As we do with all great games, we have to interrogate an animal.
Yes. As all great court dramas go, we must interrogate an animal at least once.
At least once. What? The witness you mentioned is Cece's pet cat? That's right, it's Mr. Ginger to save the day.
Defense counsel, why do you believe this Mr. Ginger was at the scene when the murder occurred?
I heard from Cece that Mr. Ginger went missing on September 14th, the night of the crime. Yesterday, while searching the cellar of the foreign goods store, I happened to find him.
Well, what does that prove?
The cellar is a sealed space. Both human and cat can only enter by the secret door in the study. After the crime, the police promptly sealed off the scene, but did not find that there was a cellar. It was not until yesterday that I had accidentally opened the hidden door.
Accidentally.
So you mean Mr. Ginger has been trapped in the cellar all these days? Exactly. When we investigated the scene, the secret door was closed, and we indeed didn't discover him.
This means Mr. Ginger could only have entered the cellar before the police sealed off the scene. It is very likely that he entered the cellar with the murderer. So you believe that Mr. Ginger saw the murderer?
Exactly.
Ha ha ha! And let's bring him in as a witness. Maybe he will tell you. Meow, the murderer is indeed Mr. Shen. He's the one who trapped me in the cellar.
That's not what cats sound like.
Not necessarily. Just... what?
Hmm?
Okay.
What?
What did you say?
I said that's not what cats sound like, and also the cat would not be saying that with Mr. Chen.
Okay. Not
I mean, he's not
necessarily.
charged with anything.
Just let Mr. Joseph inform us of the specific time that Mr. Ginger went missing.
I'm ashamed to say. These past few days, Cece's grandfather took care of her. I don't know how the cat disappeared.
Well, is it possible to ask Cece to testify?
No,
Well, but Grandpa.
Cece is still too young. I'm afraid she won't be able to handle such a situation.
Well,
Mr.
actually, don't to get
Joseph,
Grandpa. He's gonna
please.
lie.
Yeah, the grandpa's gonna lie. This is the last chance for Shen.
Yeah, if you love him, please.
If you love him, please,
Please.
please.
Please, mister, let your young daughter testify in the murder trial, please.
Please let her testify. All she needs to tell us is what time her cat went missing. That's all we need to know. That's the only information we're gonna ask her. We're not gonna ask her anything else. We pinky promise. We say with our fingers crossed behind our backs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right.
Since that's the case, let's take a short break and resume the trial later. Would we like to take a short break?
That's probably a good idea.
How much longer do you want to go?
I want to finish this, so.
Well, we don't know how much left of the game we have.
We don't know how much left.
We can try to finish this trial. I think that's completely reasonable.
Let's
Unless
finish
it
this
suddenly spins into being about a different trial, then we maybe can't finish it. But if we assume
we
that this is
probably
going to be
had
our
that.
last, if we assume after this break it's going to be the last round of doing it,
Yeah.
then I think it's
then let's end
possible.
it there.
But we'll see. We can go as far as we can until we can't anymore.
We can't anymore.
But we can take a quick break, get some water, get some snacks, and then we'll pick it back up. I want to get some ramen. So we're all taking a short. Everyone take a short recess, everybody.
Short recess while we arrange the order of the facts here.
Mwah. Back.
Back.
Back. Just pop this bottle open. God, I need to show y'all. This is totally random. I need to get y'all together to watch the rest of Hiffle with me, because God, I love Hiffle so much. I'm rewatching it now again, because of course I am. I'm just like, I love it a lot. It's my favorite fan fiction.
But yeah, sometimes baby, it's just fine.
What?
I just that to be clear, chat, what Tiffle is a part of the Dragon Ball Z Abridged, created by the lovely team who made it, Team 4-Star, and they did a great job, and it's really funny, and it just reminds you again of like how sometimes some of the jokes aren't jokes, it's just how the show is.
Yeah.
Because I'm now reminded again, because I keep on seeing on Crunchyroll how there's a new season of Dragon called Dragon Daima, where they're turned small. And so it's really like, it's like a child again. It's like, child Goku again, guys, really?
That's really good.
So yeah.
I'm gonna go watch
Also,
the original Dragon Ball.
yeah. I placed a link here for important things, which is Vlad is selling Pixel Commission, so you should go commission him. Really fun and nice.
I'm still my commissions.
He does. And they're really cheap too. Some of them are only like $5 pixels.
Yeah.
They're real fun, real cool. And like also, if you like, for example, you know, you've seen our homestick stream, so you can see a little troll and everything. And like, yeah.
Crystal.
They're real cool and real fun. You should get them. And like, you can animate them and get it.
Thank you for selling me out.
It's because I think it's good enough. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there was something else, but I forgot it.
You also have commissions.
Oh, I remember now. This is more of a thing about just in general bridge series and creative fan works, and I think some people should do their best. It's just one of the things where it's like people create in all different ways, and it's always really interesting to see how they create, because obviously everyone's going to appreciate it, because it's just showing like, hey, we love the thing so much that we want to preserve it in another form. I'm like, yeah, here's this, and our takes on what things that could have happened with this. So, for example, we have Team 4-Star and their Dragon Ball Z Bridge. We also have Octopip and 50% off, otherwise known as Free Abridged, and the other series they did from there. And things like this. Anyway, this is all to say that I'm really upset about the archive.org thing and how they got shut down, and they're specifically being shut down specifically of video games, because there are so many video games that cannot be preserved in the original form anymore and have to be emulated because the consoles are out of date and they do not make these games, and of course with game companies and all that stuff, just shutting games down and shutting studios down, so there can't be any updates for games either, because there's not a studio who can do this anymore. Well, the game can still profit, but because it's not showing enough profit, quote unquote, it's being shut down. Yeah. I just think that games should be preserved, because yeah, I was a kid who didn't grow up with a DS to look at a DSi, and even then that wasn't really mine, it was my brother's. And so the only game I really got to play on that was not really a game, and that was more of Hatina, because I was already downloaded this stuff. Well, there's all these other games that existed for different ones, along with the Game Boy, the Cube, and all these other games that are completely out of date now, that unless you buy a system that's going to be refurbished maybe $1,000 or something like that, you cannot play these games when they're classics and they were supposed to be available for kids to play. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There are probably things out there you can sign. I just, bring to attention because games and emulation.
Mm-hmm.
And the way emulation works makes it unfortunately like slightly illegal, but it's bad that it's legal when it's considering we're trying to play games that don't exist anymore. And how there's the rules about games and stuff about how like we are not allowed to own a copy of the game anymore, even if we bought it. We are now just basically quote unquote renting it out for this or something like that. It was like some weird like this is dumb, and this is dumb. But here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Let's continue, guys.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Now, our hopes are all on Cece.
I hope her testimony won't be too surprising. It'll be pretty surprising.
It's gonna be great.
Even Miss Gwen has moments of it being lost. Is this the asshole bitch? Of course, it's asshole bitch.
Of course, this is man.
Do you need do you need my help?
No, I need you to get away.
Toby Chang, what are you doing here?
Huh? Isn't that Shen's briefcase?
Oh.
Why is it in your hands?
Junping asked me to deliver it to you.
Shen?
Toby Chang, did you meet Mr. Shen, and why did he ask you to do something for him? Did you forget? Junping is the younger brother of my classmate. You always seize any opportunity for personal gain. Nah, I just want to thank him for giving me the opportunity for an exclusive interview.
Mr. Hugh and Mrs. Wen, the quote tile is about to start.
Since the item has been delivered, I will take my leave. Perform well. I'll be outside waiting for good news from you. Why did he immediately put on headphones?
Because sometimes you walk around with headphones.
Okay. Mr. Tin Woodman, are we gonna see the wizard for real soon? Oh my god, I forgot. Who's the old man?
I want to say it's you because I was
me.
listening to Joseph. Yeah.
Yes, and you will meet more than one. Mr. Ginger, are you ready to help Mr. Scarecrow now? So this is Mr. Ginger. His fluffy appearance is quite adorable.
Before we continue, can we just look in the record for about the suitcase? Because I don't like the fact that they gave us this.
Yeah, we can't look in it.
Okay, it's just as well as the machine I invented. Okay, great, Afu. Thanks. Which machine? Is this the phone machine? I think maybe it's the phone machine.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure it was. Oh, I didn't click anything. Okay. Old Belle. Fancy joining me for a cuppa later? I gotta put them in British accents, but I won't.
Old Belle.
Oh, that's...
Fancy joining me for a cuppa later.
That's you. Hang on. What did I do?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, your honors. I hope you're both well. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Old Belle, I hope. Fancy me joining me for a cuppa later?
You're still as refined as ever, Herman. Sir Bell, I never expected this small case would also stir your involvement. The courtroom summoned my granddaughter to testify. I'm with her. Will this cause inconvenience? No, of course not.
Excuse me, are you the wizard?
Yes.
Cece, I have told you. In the courtroom, can't speak without permission. Joseph, what are you
Okay,
doing right now?
Mr. Lion.
Children's words are harmless. They won't cause trouble.
Judge Kwan, shall we start the trial?
Witness Cece, please describe the circumstances of how your cat, Mr. Ginger, went missing.
That night, Mr. Tin Woodman and Mr. Ginger and I went to see magic. After the show, Mr. Tin Woodman left to chop wood. Mr. Ginger and I took a pumpkin carriage home. On the way home, I fell asleep and woke up to a noise. Then I found Mr. Ginger was gone. Thankfully, Mr. Scarecrow found him later.
Mm-hmm. You went to a show, and then after the show,
After the show,
you went home, huh?
we went home.
Pumpkin carriage, scarecrow, magic, this... Cece has a vivid imagination and likes to narrate her experiences using fairy tales.
She's using one fairy tale. It's not. I mean, I guess never mind. It is to said pumpkin carriage. Well, like also, I just. Anyway, Mr. Joseph, may I ask you? Of course. About the magic performance. Cece, can you tell me about the magic show that night?
Someone stole Miss Witch's cards, but luckily she had enchanted them. So she could call their names without even looking, and the magic worked. The cards suddenly turned into flowers, and the flowers filled to a dove, and it flew away.
Blindfolded card guessing. Playing cards turning into flowers. This is Julia's magic trick, the wonderful hands.
Cece, can you tell me about Mr. Tin Woodman chopping wood?
Mr. Tin Woodman has a sharp axe that can split any wood. After the show, he took his axe to chop wood so Cece could stay warm.
I didn't understand that at all.
I don't either. Because I know who Mr. Tin Woodman is in her imagination.
Yeah, that's.
But what is the chopping wood analogy in this situation? Is it murdering a man?
Yeah, you know how we murder a man, and that keeps the house warm.
Is it?
I'm assuming it has to be a job. He had to.
I'm assuming it has to be work. I guess maybe he just got a call from work and he ran off, or a call from the person who's committing murders.
Cece, can you explain to Mr. Scarecrow in a simpler way? After all, I haven't got a real brain yet.
I mean, I will say the analogies that she's using are probably extremely important because, you know, you have Afu who doesn't have a brain. You have Joseph who doesn't have courage. Though in this analogy is probably just the courage. Just say that shit's bullshit. Or maybe a deeper analogy we haven't got to yet. I have some suspicions about that. But then again, if I'm correct and, you know, Watson is a bastard, then he doesn't have a heart.
No, it's just weird because he's describing him as Mr. Tin Woodman.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking of the woodsman from what's it called? Snow White.
Yeah. Well, Tin Man is the Tin Woodsman from Wizard of Oz.
Oh, is he Woodman in Wizard of Oz? Oh, never mind. I didn't know that.
He's a woodman. I don't think they call him Tin Woodman in like English because that's a mouthful. They just call him the Tin Man. But he literally they find him with an axe in hand because he's a woodman.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Thanks.
Yeah.
I didn't know this information. This is now new to me.
Now you
I
do
now
know this information.
the story.
I mean, could still be making an analogy, like a double analogy, but I'm pretty sure that is a lot of hers are very Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Let me explain Cece's words. After the show, Woodman Bell had some work to attend to, so the driver took Cece home first.
Ah, I see. Can you tell me what is the pumpkin carriage?
A pumpkin carriage is simply that. A pumpkin carriage. Mr. Scarecrow, haven't you tried one?
No, we didn't ride in it.
We did.
No, we
But I
didn't.
also do not think. I think she has a specific driver.
No, she has a driver.
Well, I guess not.
Cece, is the pumpkin carriage pulled by horses?
There is no horses, because Mr. Coachman can do magic. He just spins the wheel in his hand and the pumpkin carriage flies.
I understand now. It's a car.
Good job, Afu. Truly living up to your scarecrow name.
Truly. Cece, what does the noise that woke you up sound like?
It was a really loud noise.
Could it be the sound of a gunshot? A loud bang?
No, it wasn't a bang. It was a dong, dong, dong.
Of the bell. Very loud thud 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 sound. Could it be the sound of a clock striking?
Yeah. Cece, how many bell sounds did you hear?
She doesn't know how to count.
Mr. Ginger, do you remember? Neither Cece nor Mr. Ginger remembers.
Afu, what do you think of Cece's testimony?
By combining the testimony with this evidence, we can infer the time when Mr. Ginger went missing.
Give it to me.
I told you it was important. I told you it was important because of the
Was it
time.
important to the ones that
Thank
you were saying it was important?
I knew it was important.
I knew it was too. Everything in our inventory is important. What do you mean?
I'm sorry. I just reminded again of the thing of like me going like, yes, this is fine. I have all the evidence. I have everything you need, and I can explain it to you. I just cannot explain it to you at the right time. But it is correct. And
Or
I
you
know
find
what I'm
evidence that is not actually evidence and it's just shit you notice that you decide is important even though it's not.
It's super important all the
It's
time.
not.
Cece, do you know what this is?
Huh? Is it Miss Witch's picture?
Did she prefer magic for you on the night that Mr. Ginger went missing?
Yes, she did. Miss Witch turned the cards into flowers.
Mr. Ginger went missing after the magic performance, which is after 8:45 p.m. The time he was locked in the cellar cannot be before that. And at 8:30 p.m., Mr. Shen had already been arrested.
Yes, indeed. Judge Kwan, Mr. Joseph, the person who opened the secret door to the cellar is the real culprit.
Regarding the council's argument, does the prosecutor have anything to say?
I just realized
What?
how we still haven't proved where the body was. And that's the issue we have right now.
What?
We haven't proved where the body was.
In what way?
As in, we have to prove the body was hidden in the safe.
Well, no, they actually said it was hidden in the cellar.
No, we were saying that
We were saying that no one in this game has said that. We said that, and now the game has established actually it was probably hidden in the cellar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which would make sense because
No,
if it's someone who knows that it's there, then that would unfortunately make sense.
Yeah. The defense counsel's doubts are valid.
Not that the safe is not important. I do think it's still important, but I'm just saying that, like, I don't think in this second it is important right now.
Got it. I lost.
Prosecutor Bell, I've never seen you admit defeat in court before.
Mr. Ginger's revelation overturned all of my previous logic. Even if the murder occurred at 8 p.m., the person entering the cellar would have found the body. However, this person showed no signs of it, which is illogical.
Joseph, you have never lost in court before. This experience of failure can also be considered a kind of gain. Bell, Mr. Bell.
Judge Kwan, since Mr. Bell has spoken, shall we bring this case to a close?
Judge Herman and I are on the same page. Then please bring the defendant to the court. Although the true culprit of this case has not been caught yet, but the suspicions of the defendant have been cleared. If there are no objections, I will proceed with the verdict.
No. Oh no.
Please don't do more bullshit.
Oh no. We're not done yet because again we still have the safe. We don't know.
Oh
why
no, we
have
have the safe stuff. We also have, the mystery of the entire game. So, we still have shit we need to figure out. The trial of Shen Chongping, a Chinese accused of shooting and murdering Stone Wu. The verdict for the defendant, Shen Chongping, is not guilty. Yay! Oh god.
We did it, guys.
Because we still are definitely going to have to find the actual culprit of this case. Then we're going to have to confirm the safe location, because I'm sure that's part of it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have to figure out who murdered our brother many years ago. So, just a few cases, just a few loose ends. This is why I'm like, I don't know if we're going to be finishing this tonight, to be honest.
Never mind, we're not going to finish this tonight. I thought we were...
Because that's... Unless, like, we solve it right now. Like, I don't think we're going to fucking finish this tonight. I think we got plenty left to... I think, like, hang on, I'm curious. Because I know there is still... Well, I don't even know if those are actual fail-safe states. Because I think we still have... Yeah. We still have a... Because all of those bad endings were just this. And maybe if I'm generous, there's like one variation of it if it's on the second day. But like...
Yeah.
Still. Anyway.
Still.
It's okay. We have more game. More game's fun.
More game. More game's fun.
This battle was not easy. We can finally breathe a sigh of relief.
Caution, we won.
Sorry. Thank you all for... Wait a minute! Oh no. Oh no, not the bullshit! The bullshit, it's coming! Oh no, Jen! No! You bastard! Let us win!
I know this is what you do. I know you are a detective and you want us to
I bet what his ass is like I bet he's on the cusp of figuring out who murdered his brother, and he's like, we're gonna figure this out right now. The trial.
Talking about, like,
yeah,
he wants to point the finger around first.
Mm-hmm. The trial cannot end yet, because the true culprit of this case is right here in the courtroom.
Yeah.
Mr. Shen, you already found out who the real culprit is?
Yeah, of course.
Judge Kwan, please order a temporary lockdown of the court, or there will be another murder. Oh. Oh, we're that serious, huh? But this is the international settlement. The Shanghai governor has this authority. Would you reveal the suspect's name? The police will take control of them. No, because the police are working with them. This case is not just about capturing the culprit. There is a mastermind hiding in the shadows.
I want to say it's person that is in the corner with white hair. Yeah.
Or do you mean this guy?
I cannot tell who you're talking about. Yeah.
Do you not see my cursor?
No. I'm not talking about Mr. Bell.
Yeah, I'm talking about that guy.
No,
I
yeah,
am
this. Yeah, that guy. That guy's a duplicate. There's another one right here.
There's another one where?
You can't see it because Hairsprite's in the way. There isn't that guy over on the like far right hand side. There is another one right here on the left.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's just a default model.
Yeah, I am making a joke, but you know.
Well, I don't know these things.
I know, that's why I was clarifying after the fact that I am making a joke. That's why I'm telling you. I
I
am
swear.
making a joke.
I love you
But-
so much.
Sometimes the mastermind is the albino guy that we found a local way or something.
It's
I don't know.
that dude is blonde, Chinema.
I can't see colors when I have color filters on.
Yeah, you're the one. Then
What?
get better color filters, cause he's blonde.
No, I have to remove all traces of any color. And blues, which means everything appears redder. And because everything appears redder, it looks white. Because my brain overcorrects. That's how colors work.
The mastermind. This case is not just a single case. It has of course it is. Of course it is, Shen. Of course. It has intricate connections to an old case I have been investigating for 3 years. This was all my own ruse to get us all here so I could finally do this. I'm ready. I'm here.
Point the finger towards the guy who did this all along.
It is also related to the recent high-profile theft case. Yeah, okay, so we are just solving 3 cases at once. Here we go. Let's do it.
Here we go. Mr. Shen, the jurisdiction of this court is limited to your alleged murder of the Stone Wu. Whether it is accusing the true culprit or reporting the thief, please go to the police station. No, thank you. After the police verify the information, both prosecutor can initiate legal proceedings.
No! If the trial ends now, there will be another bloodshed for sure.
Obi Chang will die.
Determined, how about following Mr. Shen's suggestion and sealing off the court first? It wouldn't hurt to unseal it after the person he accuses has been arrested and detained.
Judge Kwon, how can you be sure that the person he accuses should be detained?
Just in case, you know. I don't really want to die. Like, it's just, you know. Your Honors, you can detain me as well. If I make a mistake, I am willing to bear the responsibility for false accusations and framing. Judge Herman, it's a matter of life and death. I think we'd better believe it.
It's up to you, Judge Kwon.
And I'm sorry to ask you all to wait in this courtroom for a while. Guards, lock down all entrances and exits of the courtroom. Running.
Bark, 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 bark.
Yep, that's what they're doing. They're barking.
Report. The mixed courtroom has been locked down. I'm sorry, I love the way that they're just doors are so like the giant stick versus the tiny stick.
A tiny little baton.
No one is allowed to enter or leave without permission.
Thank you for your assistance.
John, please, share your analysis. It was you, Joseph.
I mean, it's either that or it's his dad. Like,
Yeah, there's a chewy blue Goodman.
see, listen, all I'm gonna say is if it's actually his dad, and Joseph is actually completely innocent, and actually a totally normal, like, chill dude, which he might be, I think it's kind of leading to that point, I want to say that our immediate distrust of him comes because he carries the genetics of his father. That's what I'm deciding is the explanation. Definitely not my own personal trauma with pretty anime men betraying me. That's definitely not why
Definitely not
I
at
get
all.
instantly suspicious about pretty anime men. But that's
He
my...
just gave off too much Kristoff, okay? That was the problem.
For me, that's not
Gave off too
what
much
it
Kristoff.
gave me, but sure.
It was Kristoff, that was for me.
Yeah.
Just gave off too much Kristoff energy, and I should have known all along that he was a Glavier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You didn't know?
Uh.
Nothing, it's fine.
I
Anyway,
didn't know he was Clavier. I thought he was Kristoff. When he was first introduced, I thought he was Kristoff, not Clavier.
okay. Gotcha.
Mhm.
The deductions made by
That's-
Afu and Miss Wen regarding the murderer's modus operandi are reasonable. It is true that I retrieved the pistol from locker 212. Previously, as a suspect, my testimony was not accepted. Now, you should be able to believe someone is using the police's arrest operation to frame me. As the arrest is confidential, the framing can succeed only if two major prerequisites are met. First, the framer has insider information on the theft case and uses it to facilitate the arrest. Second, the framer has the opportunity to hide the gun in the theater locker.
The person with the information on the theft and the chance to hide the gun appears to be...
Points!
Points. The person who meets both conditions is none other than Sergeant Singh.
I knew you would try to pin the blame on me. Are you saying that when Officer Wu testified, you realized you had been exposed?
On the night of the case, we received orders to gather at the Lyceum Theater at 7:15 p.m. It was only at the scene that we learned Sergeant Singh received a tip-off. Before the operation, Sergeant Singh had already checked those lockers. They were all empty.
You put the gun in the locker when you were checking them, didn't you? Hey, you. So you think this clumsy ploy can deceive me? You're just seeking revenge on me. Sergeant Singh, the secret arrest operation should be known only to you and the police involved. And you were the only one who went to the theater alone. If it wasn't you who put the gun in, then who else could it be? The operation was solely to track down the sly thief. I arranged the operation only after receiving the tip-off. Sergeant Singh, can you show us the tip-off? You can't, can you? There's no harm in showing it to you. Shanghai Phantom will transfer stolen goods through Lyceum Theater's locker at 8:30 p.m., September 14th. Shanghai Phantom will transfer stolen goods through the Lyceum Theater's locker at 8:30 p.m., September 14th. The tip-off is not signed, and the letters on it look like they were cut out from a newspaper.
The style of this note is identical to the other two notes Shen received.
I wonder where this tip-off came from. That's confidential. Why should I tell you? The person who provided the tip-off is likely the one who killed Mr. Wu and framed Mr. Shen. Don't you want to capture them? You...
Sergeant Singh, please, disclose the source of the tip-off.
As a prosecutor, I have the authority to know this information.
Was an anonymous letter received in the reward mailbox. Is that all? I swear by the Guru, what I said is true. It's because the murderer was too cunning. They misled us with a false tip-off. May I ask, Sergeant Singh, how many arrest operations were organized on the evening of the 14th? There was only one, of course.
This is getting strange considering we got two.
And they were discarded.
Just... This is getting strange. Since the letters in the reward mailbox triggered the arrest, why didn't this piece of evidence? I remember Officer Wu mentioning something about clues regarding for the theft case. After the reward was announced, reports flooded in like snowflakes. But most of them were hearsay and baseless rumors, adding more confusion to the investigation. I have also seen a few letters that predicted the activities of the thief on September 14th.
May I ask, Sergeant Singh, what is so special about this letter? So that among so many leads, only this one triggered the arrest operation.
Well, I have been serving as sergeant for many years. Naturally, I have my own judgment. How did you make your specific judgment? Reward letters usually include an address as the informant's goal is to claim the reward. But this letter didn't leave anything. Experience and intuition told me that this information might be true, so I arranged the arrest. It's not unreasonable for Sergeant Singh to take action based on experience. I'm afraid I have been manipulated by the murderer. Mr. Shen, do you have anyone else to accuse? Please hurry. Judge Kwan, the letter is new evidence. I need to examine it more carefully.
Examine.
Sergeant Singh's reason seems to make a little sense.
Are you still suspicious of him? Yeah, the paper was cut.
It's not that simple. Let's see if we can find some clues from the letter. I think it's maybe the fact that they don't specify what locker, which is a bit weird.
I was gonna say about like how the paper seems to be cut and torn.
Well, that would make
Something
sense
else?
if it's the same letter sent to us, because that's basically how the other letter looks too.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't think ours was torn like this.
Yes, it is. It absolutely was.
Okay, then.
It has the same kind of like shredded bottom, yeah.
Okay. Shen, this anonymous letter and the two notes you received look very similar. The letters on them were all cut from elsewhere and then pasted together.
It's highly likely the work of the same person. The paper used for printing is thin and rough, like a newspaper.
Let me smell. The ink smell is undoubtedly that from a newspaper.
This is common stationery, easily found anywhere. Nothing on the bit.
Shen, it seems like there are other words on the back of the letter.
Is there?
I guess.
Whence?
But it's not very clear.
Me literally moving my head around trying to find him. Try holding it up to the light.
Okay.
Ah.
Gasp. Oh, there are indeed words. Too messy. It's difficult to distinguish.
Can we find a way to remove the paper fragments?
I'll try heating it up with fire to melt the adhesive.
Cool.
It should be almost done. Wen Kosin. It's you, Kosin.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is all cut up from Wen Kosin's article. What is about me? Don't speak without thinking.
I feel like I've seen this word before.
Olympic. It should be Olympiad, as I know. London is currently hosting the games of the Fourth Olympics. Fourth Olympiad. Mouth harder.
Is it prison? Oh, let's skip this word.
It's okay. Let's keep looking. These paper fragments were all cut from newspapers. Oh, wait. Look. Friend.
Roman numeral 4. Not very common. Should refer to the games of the 4th Olympiad. Will we send a team to participate someday?
You will, and you'll be so good at table tennis. I watched it happen.
Lupin! Is that case the Shanghai Phantom actually has similarities to Lupin? In that case, okay.
Hot.
Holding a gun. Hat. There's a picture on the back of the paper fragment. It looks like a hat.
Ooh.
And there are 3 partial words, each only half.
I think this is alluding to the fact that this is from an article that was written strangely before everything happened.
Yeah.
Because that has to refer to Shen holding a gun.
Yeah.
Or that's evidence that this was made afterwards. So this is actually not an actual
It's evidence
tip.
of this made with. Yeah.
It looks like the words holding a gun.
This hat, the more I look at it, the more familiar it becomes.
Better be familiar.
Is it my hat?
Don't wear a hat.
Color intensive. Han Young
Hanyang.
Ironworks.
Han Yang. Why would Han Yang be mentioned suddenly?
Is this your report, Christian? Shen, I got it! The pattern on the back of the Lyceum Theater. It's your hat.
Indeed.
Could it be that the person writing the anonymous letter is trying to imply something? No.
Are there any traces of processing or touch-ups on these paper fragments?
No, they're all ink printed.
Do you remember which newspapers have published my photos?
I remember now. It's that article. Detective Shen Junping arrested last night. Why broke into the theater holding a gun.
The answer is quite obvious then. This was
This
made
fake
after the arrest.
Sergeant Singh, the anonymous letter you present is forged.
How dare you say that?
Pretty easily, in fact. I did.
Easily.
With him out. It's not even broken this time.
Yeah.
The paper fragment on the anonymous letter was cut from a newspaper. Therefore, they had to be wrong. This fragment is special. On the back of it is a drawing of Shen's hat with the words holding a gun. Oh, it just says gun. In all capitals.
Yeah.
It comes from an article of Shanghai News on September 15th. Detective Shen Junping arrested last night. Why broke into the theater holding a gun. If the anonymous letter was not fabricated afterwards, how could there be news of Shen's arrest on the back of the paper fragments? Yeah, man, you done messed
The news
up.
press. The person who wrote the anonymous letters from the news press. Shanghai News is a daily newspaper, printed and sold on the same day. Even the newspaper editors cannot be obtained the newspaper a day in advance.
Also, they can't hand the day in advance of saying, like, hey, yeah, the guy was arrested.
Yeah.
Not
Well, I was
how
gonna
that
say it
works.
could possibly prove that, like, Toby was involved because he already had it, like, printed ready, but, like, no. I think it's more
Yeah.
obvious that what's happening right now.
Sing, did you kill Stonewu?
No.
You're not saying anything, so that means you're admitting it, right?
That's not how this works, Christian.
Sergeant Singh, we don't know each other. Having briefly met that afternoon in the store, you wouldn't unjustly frame me unless someone instigated you to do so. No, that's not true. No one instructed me.
You. Then why did you say shut up?
Oh, here he goes. Enough! I admit it! It was me. I did it all. Yeah, you're covering for someone. You're covering for someone big.
Covering for someone so hard.
Silence! Sergeant Singh, why did you kill Stonewu? He had evidence against me. He threatened me many times, so I killed him to silence him. And why did you frame Mr. Shen? Because he was a perfect scapegoat. He happened to cross paths with me. Well, that does make sense.
It would be way easier to frame me, Hafu.
What does Judge Herman think?
Since Sergeant Singh has already confessed, let the police take custody of him.
This case has had its twists and turns. The truth will finally come to light.
We're not done yet.
No! That's still not the truth.
Thanks, Shen.
Mr. Shen, do you have anything to add? Sergeant Singh framed and set me up, but he is not the murderer of Stone Wu. Shen Chengping, I have already confessed. What else do you want? According to Miss Wen and Afu's deduction on the modus operandi, Sergeant Singh had a concrete alibi. He couldn't have been at the store committing the murder. This can't be possible.
Sergeant Singh's alibi? Oh! I think I've heard the police officers mention it.
You didn't sleep well, hardly slept at all. Sergeant Singh led the team himself. Nobody was allowed to leave. It's going by too fast.
I'll take the police. I'll take control. But if Sergeant Singh is not the murderer, then who could it be?
The murderer is familiar with the store, knows about the cellar, and where Stonewu hid the gun. More importantly, when I saw this person again, there was an additional mark on their body. It was formed during the commitment of the crime.
Familiar with the foreign goods store, with a distinctive mark on their body? Could it be?
Oh, well, look who's suspicious.
Tinky Sing. Shen, I figured out. It's actually Tinky Sing who's the true culprit.
That's right. The person who killed Stone Wu is Ting Hixiang, the assistant of the store.
Yes.
How could it be her? Ting Hixiang, please come to the court.
I'm sorry for causing trouble. I was just curious about what the trial would be like. Why is she allergic? What is she allergic to? Cats?
Maybe. Tin Yixiang, do you have anything to say regarding Mr. Shen's accusation?
Mr. Shen is right. It's all my fault.
Or could they be...
Almost. The must have been killed because of me being hired. I often messed things up and made him unhappy. I'm just a cursed person, always bringing misfortune to others. I truly regret it. If I hadn't taken the job at the one good store, the boss, this wouldn't have happened.
Stop the act.
Mr. Shen, are you sure Ting Hisyang is the murderer? She appears to be timid and harmless. Ting Hisyang, there's something I'm curious about. I heard you were there for the initial investigation and helped the police with the inventory. But the police officers didn't discover the cellar in the study. Did Mr. Wu ever mention it to you?
I don't know. I've only been at the foreign goods store for a short time, still adjusting to everything. It's all my fault. I didn't work hard enough. If I could have gained more trust from the boss. Maybe he would have told me important things.
Mr. Shen, do you have evidence to prove that Ting Hishang is the culprit?
Afu, did you notice? There is a mark on Ting Hisyang's body, which was made during the crime. I was gonna say either the... No. No, not the clothing. Here we go.
Ting Hishang, if you didn't know there was a cellar in the study, then how do you explain the frostbite on your wrist?
I was gonna say they could be from the dry ice!
Yeah.
There is indeed a frostbite mark on Ting Hisyang's wrists. Could it be that she, like Mr. Ginger, came into contact with dry ice? It's September. The weather is still warm. If it's not from contact with dry ice, how could Ting Hisyang have frostbite on her wrists? I wonder what dry ice is. Never heard of it.
It's solidified carbon dioxide used mainly for preservation in carbonated drinks, rarely found. Dry ice is extremely cold and causes frostbite when it comes into contact with skin.
A few days ago, while helping my boss move fish, I accidentally came into contact with dry ice.
The appearance of frostbite wounds varies in different stages of the healing process.
I meant that morning when Mr. Shen and you came.
No need to lie anymore, Ting Hisyang.
Ting Hishang, please take care of Mrs. Lee.
Okay, sure.
When we visited, there were no injuries on your hand. Not only did I see it, Officer Wu, Miss Lee, and Afu can all testify to it.
Shen, you are indeed correct. At that time, Ting Hishang had no injuries on her hands.
At this stage, you are still unwilling to discard the disguise? She's totally the thief. That's totally what this is leading to.
Ooh.
Oh, there it goes.
It seems that this introverted persona is truly unsuitable for the classroom.
Fucking grew fangs. Jesus Christ. Okay!
Get out.
A literal demon, I guess. That afternoon in the store, I noticed the calluses between your right thumb and index finger. It is typical sign of prolonged use of firearms.
You are indeed interesting. No wonder you have such a great reputation. I made a mistake earlier.
How did you just develop a scar?
Because she was wearing a mask, clearly.
I guess. Unfortunately, at the
Mask in hair
time,
that
I
she
just
cut
found
off
it
the side.
strange. I wasn't truly alarmed. Until I discovered you came to the courtroom in disguise, I fully confirmed my suspicions.
What suspicions?
You were hired to kill, and your purpose was to silence.
So, Mr. Shen, what do you think? Why did I come here?
You could have escaped, but instead you risked it all by showing up at the trial for one reason. Your mission is not yet finished. You're here to kill him. And Toby. Toby also Toby.
Oh, how I want to open and see that clever brain of yours.
Guards! Quickly! Arrest her! She's a freak! Wait! Judge! I still have questions for her.
Mr. Shen, I know what you want to ask. However, I only speak the truth to the dead.
If I'm not mistaken, all of this is to cover up the truth of my brother's murder.
John, what have you discovered during this time? What do you think is the truth of the case from years ago? This is where the Varnice comes in.
Yeah.
You know,
4 days ago in the
the
police
last
station's prison
technique?
cell. Ooh. Inventory has been switched to evidence, the stabbing case.
Nice. Mr. Shen, it's time to eat. Do we want to call it there or do we want to continue?
I'll leave it up to you.
I'm
okay. I think this would be a good place to call it if we want to call it.
Yeah, I'm just also it's a thing of like this is a good place to call it, but I also want to know how much is left because it seems like we're all thinking. However, the whole evidence box switched.
Yeah,
Which is why I'm a little worried because there's still a lot to do.
Yeah, because we're going back to this. So like,
Yeah,
I think at a bare minimum, at the barest minimum, if I were to be super generous, maybe an hour left. But I have a feeling it's more than that, especially because it's us.
especially because it's us.
Yeah, I bet if we were if we were playing this by ourselves and like not making jokes and not talking and not goofing and gaffing, probably an hour of game left. But I think that with us together, I think it would be at least 2 hours, if not more. So I do think this would be a good place to stop.
With no goofing or gapping, I'm like, okay, under impossible circumstances.
Exactly, under impossible, literally would never happen circumstances. So I do think that this would be a good place to stop, and we can pick it up. We're very close. We're gonna get it done. I think we can easily get it done like before the Ren Fair trip.
Yeah.
Either if not next week for whatever reason, definitely the week after that. But I think that like it would be a good place to stop just because I worry of, especially because games like this tend to also have long epilogues. So like especially because I was just finishing 999 with letters, and it's like even though we got to the end of the game, they just yap and yap and yap. So like I think for us it would be better to stop here. And I think we could probably get it done next time, and God forbid if for some reason we do it and there's still a whole other chunk of game left, then we'll get it done the time after that.
Got it.
Cool. With that, that's a good 3 hours of stream, and we're almost there. We're in the final stretches.
We're
What is
in
that
the
called?
final stretch.
Is it still called the...
We're finally figuring. Yeah,
Yeah,
still
it's
the
called
Yangtze.
Yeah. So we're very, very
I think
close.
it's probably just because this ties everything up into a neat bow.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. Anyway, I hope everyone watching enjoyed and had a good time as always.
Yeah.
We will see you hopefully next week. And hopefully, next week it might be during the Donathon too, so we might be there for the tail end of that. But like, yeah, we will see you next week and hopefully finish up this game. We're so close. We're getting there. Everything's coming together. It's all falling into pieces. Would I even expect a demonic hitman to suddenly show up? No, but sometimes these things happen.
Sometimes these things happen.
Sometimes they throw you a curveball.
Sometimes they throw you a curveball, and then we find out all the information, and we're like, hey, we have a lot of pieces we can put together now that we have, because we've introduced a new character to the screen. which means it has to be Mr. Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Watson Bell.
I think it's
It's gotta
definitely
be him.
Bell. Whether or not his son's in on it, I don't know yet. I think the game's going a direction where he's not in on it, but like
Yeah.
not directly, but like, you know, there's clearly some shady stuff going on.
It was still
Definitely.
who that was in on the murder, and then he left so that way the hitman could do everything. And it was like, hey, it gotta be one of these guys. But however, it can't be him because he left. So it's only one of these two guys. And we're like, it can't be any of these guys. That's why
Yeah.
we were like so suspicious of both of them. But now it's like, hey, it can't be both of them. It's gotta be these guys. And so
Yeah.
we sit here and we're
I
like,
think either the hitman was hired because maybe Toby and Stone were like in on it. Like it was one of those things where it's like it was a group effort and not a single person. So they're killing people to get out of the way. I do think based on that conversation of the totally mysterious shadowy figure that we definitely don't know who that is, conversing with who we now might know is the hitman, of it being a conversation of like, hey, he's getting closer, he's gonna find it out. So like having to kill Stonewoo because he knew too much, and then having to
Yeah.
probably kill Shen afterwards as well.
right, maybe it could be the thing of having to kill Toby.
Yeah. Well,
Afterwards.
I think the reason I think Stone was killed for information is because there is literally that picture of
Yeah.
Stone and Brian. So
Brian.
clearly he would actually know information about that story and that whole thing, that he could share. So it's like, you know, things and stuff.
Things and stuff.
But yeah, we're very close. Soon it's gonna come all together. It's gonna all be put into place.
All be put into place.
Yeah. With that,
Yeah.
suppose we will leave it there. I hope everyone goes and gets some nice rest, nice long sleeps, and we will see you guys soon. Bye bye.
Bye.